Vola angwela o veteranu ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barongo na Bula FM nambandu na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti ni nambandu na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nanreke ngo sa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nalang go sa mundo atibio ng Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry yang melambasa. Do barongo na Bula FM nambandu.
Bula FM nambandu na sere.
In the news tonight, legal and social issues around affordable housing. Fiji amongst worst climate change affected countries. And 2 new measles cases.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
A number of legal and social issues have to be tackled to make the government plans for affordable housing a success. Discussions at the annual Attorney General's Conference today centred around new challenges that will come with the construction of multi-storey apartments. Edwin Nund reports.
The International Finance Corporation and the government are planning cheap high-rise apartments for low-income earners and families in squatter settlements.
It requires a lot of cultural and social acceptability to this concept. In all the countries, whether it's Asia or Europe or the US, transitioning from a horizontal living to vertical living was never easy. The government at different points of time had to come and bring right elements to strengthen the acceptability of vertical living.
Vertical housing is needed in the Suvarnasuri corridor due to rapid urbanization and lack of housing. Even new privately owned flats coming up are not for the average family.
They are all not targeted at affordable housing. So it was out of reach for majority of the Fijian population. So what we need to consider how to really make it work by making it affordable.
District title is a new concept for Fiji, as we all know. And the public needs to be made aware of the law and regulations dealing with those titles.
Another challenge is that people struggle being isolated from their community and social settings.
Transitioning to a vertical living is like separating themselves away from a surrounding environment. One thing which I understand about Fiji, that socially it's a very cohesive environment where people want to interact through community spaces. So vertical living actually separates them from the relevant surrounding.
The IFC is also working on laws to allow Fijians to own units, tenureship and community bylaws for people living in a complex. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
There are now 18 confirmed cases of measles. The latest confirmed cases are a 3-month-old from Wailali settlement in Wainandoi and a 17-month-old child from Wailakutu in Lami. Kelly Vadala reports the outbreak response teams responded rapidly to these cases.
With another 2 confirmed cases of measles in the Central Division, the Health Ministry urges parents to check their children's immunization status.
We are saying that anybody who's from the ages of 6 months to 5 years, so children from the ages of 6 months to 5 years, can get vaccinated, as well as adults who were born between 1980 to the year 2000. So this is 19 to 39-year-olds.
Head of Health Protection Dr. Alicia Sahu Khan says they're targeting a certain group of people with the immunization campaign.
We know that looking at the history of our immunization program in Fiji, people that were born in the 1980s and 90s may not have gotten their dose of the vaccine because our coverage was quite low back then. For our people who were born before 1980, we know that the vaccine was first introduced in Fiji in 1982. So people born before that time were most likely exposed to the virus already.
Meanwhile, UN Special Rapporteur on the Right to Health, Danius Puras, has commended the Fijian government for its response to the measles outbreak.
It's a very serious issue, and we know that in some other countries there are deaths. Fiji is doing well with the management of this outbreak.
In the first 2 days of Phase 2 of the mass vaccination campaign, over 70 health teams have vaccinated more than 45,000 people across the Central Division. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Fiji is among the top 10 nations impacted the most by climate in 2018, and the Pacific is set to follow suit. This has sent alarm bells ringing at COP25 as we struggle to fight the battle against disasters caused by climate change. Experts are now waving the red flag to bigger nations to start taking notice and be ready to work together with small countries in fighting climate change. Indra Singh files this report.
Climate advocacy group German Watch says multiple deaths and together with that the loss on the Fijian economy caused havoc in 2018, and that is just the tip of the melting iceberg.
It's quite alarming to see that Fiji has made it to one of the top 10 countries and one of the top 10 countries which has suffered in terms of climate-induced disasters in 2018, and we know that from Feb to April of 2018, we had back-to-back disasters. We had Gita, tropical cyclone Gita, and then we had Keni and Josie, which were back-to-back events. And particularly with Keni and Josie, we had lost 8 of our people in those disasters.
Fiji being in the top 10 list is not desired, but joining them in this unwanted list are the likes of Japan and Germany.
Suffering, so I think they need to step up, they need to bolster climate action so that we don't suffer.
Greenpeace says carbon pollution doesn't stop at national borders. Everyone is affected, and the impact of climate change is the most severe for those who pollute the least.
All countries are being affected by it now, and you can see that from the report. Japan is obviously suffering a lot economically, so it's going to take quite a lot of work, but I think the important thing to note and the key takeaway from here is that developing countries are starting to understand now what Pacific leaders have been saying for a long time. It's us at the moment, but we're all going to be affected by this, and it's happening right now.
It's excruciating to see island nations at the receiving end, and the warm smiles of the Pacific people is soon set to turn into more despair and cries of help.
For people like us who stand to lose, the very things that make us Pacific people, the degree of urgency is really something that we're trying to push through here at COP, and one that we're hoping that world leaders, particularly from developed countries, can now begin to fully understand.
Between 1999 and 2018, about 495,000 people died worldwide, and losses of over US $3 trillion was incurred as a direct result of more than 12,000 weather events. The Pacific is the first region to move towards combining regional, national and subnational efforts to reduce disaster and climate-related risks, helped obviously by UN agency UNDRR. But now is the time for the world to join suit. Indra Singh, FBC News.
People living in Nadi and Lautoka have been advised by the Water Authority of Fiji to use water sparingly, as the Waturu Dam level is almost at critical level. General Manager Customer Services, Sekove Uluinayao, says the current level at the dam is 521 metres compared to their healthy level of 527. The dam supplies water to the whole of Nadi and 75% of the Lautoka population. The low levels at the dam has been caused by the hot and dry weather conditions in the Western Division. WAF has also put in place a contingency plan should there be any unplanned water disruptions.
The issue is that the dam level is getting affected, so it affects our production capacity at the treatment plant. So when we produce less, we'll provide less to our customers. And at the moment, what we want, what we require is around 2,000 millimeters of rain within the 3 months, or even 1,000 millimeters of rainfall within a month to replenish the water levels at Waturu Dam.
Up ahead, trial date set for pastor charged with rape. And 29 members join Fiji Youth Council. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lautoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
29 hours since the Bull FM Drachir Melem competition began and 18 participants are in contention for the 2019 Hyundai Tucson. 2 participants have so far been eliminated. Apanisa Wangarandovu reports.
The participants have been taking 20 minutes breaks every 4 hours and a medical team is also on standby.
Still going strong. They drink more water, fruits. What I see, they still maintain their diet. And you can hear them. They are clapping and, they look happy. It doesn't show that they're really tired.
Amenetabe Rayawa's grandfather, Josiah Naitobu, has been by his side all day cheering him on.
I came here after attending a funeral and I wanted to show him support.
Unaisi Adele has been coming to the Roops complex in Nakasi since yesterday to support her uncle.
We brought him fruits and water and wanted him to know that we are here to support him and we hope he will complete the competition.
If all these competitors remain standing at 3 p.m. tomorrow, they each will have to pull the car a distance of 45 meters. The one to do it in the quickest time wins. Apenisa Wangardobu, FBC News.
Fiji's Navy fleet now boasts 6 vessels, having only had 1 in operation 2 years ago. Navy Head of Operations Commander Timothy Natuva says they will now be able to step up their border surveillance and monitoring, in addition to conducting thorough surveys. Maggie Boyle reports.
Only 2 years ago, the Fiji Navy had to rely on other foreign vessels to assist them with border surveillance.
It gives us the flexibility, because now we have RFNS Kula, RFNS Kikau, and RFNS Kadau that can do those kind of things. For RFNS Volasinga, it's basically purely a hydrographic vessel.
The RFNS Volasinga is a welcome addition to the Fiji Navy fleet. It will not only assist with border security, but it will also mean better mapping of Fiji's waters.
We've had interest, for example, some initial development currently taking place. For example, in Naui Island up in Savu Savu, that after they do the development, it needs to be surveyed. So those are the areas that we're working at.
Given the economic reliance on our ocean, it's even more critical that the Navy can ensure accessibility and safety.
The safety and security of our people, our friends and our visitors is paramount to the ministry, and ensuring the safety of our navigation in our waters is key part of Fiji's international maritime obligation and the safety of lives at sea.
The Navy will also receive a Guardian-class patrol boat from Australia next year under the Pacific Maritime Safety Program. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Trial dates for a 46-year-old pastor charged with 4 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault has been set. The court was told that Waisake Tulavu now has a lawyer as his case was on hold since July. During his bail hearing on 24th July, it was revealed in court that his lawyer was practicing without a practicing license. Catherine Krishna reports.
The 2-week trial of Waisake Tulavu, a pastor facing rape and sexual assault charges, will begin on March 2nd next year. In court today, the counsel for the accused person was confirmed, who stated that he is ready for trial proper. The lawyer also stated that he has received full disclosures from his client and has sought more time to discuss other issues before trial date. State will be calling in 10 witnesses and revealed that the 3 complainants will also be taking the stand. Apart from the complainants, 2 police officers, 2 eyewitnesses and the reverend of the church will also give evidence. The state also says they are ready to proceed with the trial and will not be relying on the caution interview of the accused. It is alleged Tulavu raped 3 church members aged 22, 29 and 32 in Nasino last year. The case will be recalled for pre-trial conference on February 21st. Tulavu has been further remanded. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Youth and Sports Minister Parvin Bala has once again stressed that the views of the youth is vital when drafting the National Youth Policy. He made the comments while officially welcoming 20 new members to the Fiji Youth Council in Suva today. Chisai Nanunga reports.
These members were reminded about the responsibilities, as 70% of Fiji's population constitutes of people under the age of 40.
Happy to note that it coincides with the consultation with the ministry, which has engaged in drafting a revised Fiji Youth Policy to reflect the ministry's plan.
Council member Deli Singh and Rona says he will propose policies that will cater for the welfare of youth with special needs.
It was quite an eye-opening experience just reading through the draft policy itself. They had a lot of words that was non-inclusive. It did not cover or cater for the needs of persons with disabilities or persons with gender diverse needs.
William Meturangabo, who is a sport fanatic, believes the policy should encourage youth to join sports.
Like I said, it's not only for people who play sports, it's for everyone. I will be able to implement, not only implement, but also put in place activities that would get everyone involved, despite the age, despite the gender.
The 20 newly appointed Fiji Youth Council members will officially take office from Monday next week to assist with the deliverables of the Ministry of Youth and Sports over the next 2 years. Jose Nanunga, FBC News.
And it's business now with Kelly.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break, special team investigates real estate agency. And in growing Fiji, refurbishment of FNPF Place food court delayed. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulalo Bagh. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number 1. हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है. हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता. गोल्ड टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading Business, a team of investigators are looking into the affairs of a Nandi-based travel agency alleged to have duped a number of people by selling bogus airline tickets. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission says there's a possibility that the agency breached certain conditions of the FCCC Act 2010. Pranita Prakash reports.
The FCCC and the Consumer Watchdog received more than 50 complaints in the last couple of weeks against the travel agent.
We received about 22 formal complaints. We continue to receive some informal complaints. We even receive them through our Facebook pages.
The council have registered 32 cases so far worth $113,000. And we have been able to successfully provide 9 consumers with redress. When I'm saying redress, 6 were able to get their refund and 3 were able to get the tickets that they originally purchased. Fijians have been advised to carry out a thorough background check on all travel agents before engaging them.
Have complaints where they've paid more than 5,000, even some, this amount of 27,000, whole family. They have purchased, they engaged this agent to travel abroad and they've paid the full sum, not only just the deposit but the full sum. And by the time they have to travel out, the tickets are not ready.
FCCC says receiving payment for goods or services without offering them is a breach of the FCCC Act 2010. Police has also confirmed they are investigating the matter. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Gary from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the money world.
The U.S. trade deficit dropped to its lowest level in nearly 1.5 years in October, suggesting trade could contribute to the economic growth in the fourth quarter. Also, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits unexpectedly fell, hitting their lowest in 7 months, suggesting the labor market remains solid even as the economy is slowing. Meanwhile, the Japanese yen weakened against the dollar after household spending fell 5.1% in October, the fastest pace in over 3.5 years. Consumers have cut their purchases following a sales tax hike and after natural disasters disrupted businesses. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe announced that Japan will spend nearly $120 billion to stimulate its slowing economy and help some of the areas affected by Typhoon Hagibis. Closer to home, analysts have nudged up their forecasts for the Aussie and Kiwi dollar as the currencies proved resilient to global trade uncertainty and poor economic news, though the risk of policy easing looms for next year. That's all from HFC Bank for this week. Pinaka.
Thanks, Gary. Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning, with foreign exchange markets still in confusion over U.S. senior trade negotiations. The Fiji dollar was on the rise against the U.S. greenback and the Australian dollar, as well as PNG Kina, but slipped against the other currencies we cover. Looking at the commodities market, the price of oil was on the rise, about $58 per barrel. Gold rose slightly to $1,476, and silver closed higher at $16.96 per ounce. In growing Fiji, the opening of the refurbished ground floor and food court area of FNPF Place in Victoria Parade Suva has been delayed. The complex is owned by the Fiji National Provident Fund. FNPF Chief Executive Charles Koroi says they plan to open the food court by Christmas, but were unable to achieve the target. The renovation will give the food court area and the building's main entrance a modern look.
Target initially before the end of Christmas. I think we're sleeping on that target. At this stage, we're still looking at maybe the early 2020. Yeah?
That's it from Business Tonight. Now Edwin joins you with the latest from sports.
Good evening. In sports tonight, Fiji Sevens register first win in Dubai. And core skills, strength and conditioning training conducted for young players today. This and more coming up.
Ako veterano, ako itabua. Ako do talitay na barong na Bula FM, nambando na sir.
Bula, ang gono ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti nambando na sir.
Ni Bula binaka, nanregen go sa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nalang go sa mundo active ng Bula FM nambando na sir nusur.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry yang melambasa. Do barong nga ng Bula FM.
Bula FM, number 2 en seri.
Welcome back. The Fiji Airways Sevens edged Japan 24-17 as they began their Dubai Sevens campaign this morning. Fiji led Japan 10-5 at halftime, but indiscipline from our national side cost them tries to Japan in the second half. Save Wanga with the story.
Returning to his debut tournament, Vilimoni Mbutitu scored Fiji's first try in the first minute of play.
Room down this near side, plenty of room, and now plenty of pace from Vilimoni Mbutitu.
Halfback Jerry Tuai, who was in fine form, crossed over in the third minute for Fiji's second.
Comes out the back though, and Jerry Tuai says, oh, I'll take it.
Japan fought back with a try to Yoshikazu Fujita right at the stroke of halftime as Fiji led 10-5. Brothers Isoa Tambu and Sevloni Modinavangi scored quick-fire second-half tries to see Fiji run away to lead 24-5.
Across the park and now cutting them open, Sevu Modinavangi.
Japan replied with back-to-back tries to Fujita and Kipei Ishida in the closing minutes after debutant Kavikini Kumbu was shown a yellow card.
Nathungu off, is it? No, it's one of the big men.
Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Weber says the focus now turns to Argentina.
We were going to speak to Jerry Tuai, but he didn't want to talk to us. Is that because the players aren't happy with that performance?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but obviously coming straight off the field and we want to get a bit of focus on what we're going to do tomorrow. So, yeah, it's just obviously to keep them where they need to be.
Weber says they need to readjust themselves after their first game.
You never really know where you are until you come out here in the first fight, and I thought Japan equipped themselves really well there. We know they're a good outfit. We played against them a few times, but we had enough to get through that one.
Fiji faces Argentina at 10:04 tonight before meeting France at 4:02 tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, the Australian women's sevens side thrashed the Fijiana Sevens 38-0 in the women's leg of the Dubai Sevens. Fijiana meets Spain at 6 p.m. today in their second pool game. Save Wanga, FBC Sports.
In the other big game, New Zealand thrashed Wales 36-7. The defending champions crossed over for 6 tries, making a statement to other teams in their pool. Here are the highlights.
Wales running right to left in their traditional red shirts. Molia to Collier. Collier checks inside and back inside to Tony Nashu and stands in the tackle. Back to Baker, has support, won't need it. Kurt Baker His first, looking for their third score opportunity for an overlap. Shoot, little hitch kick to Baker, looking for a second. Kurt Baker into the corner. Steps inside Newstub. Oh, Joe Goodchild, too good. I have started with a bang.
It was an emotional start to the Dubai Sevens for the Samoa team as they ran onto the field against Canada in their first pool match. The players wore black armbands to honor the victims of the measles epidemic gripping their nation, which has claimed 63 lives. A moment of silence was also observed before the game. Samoa won 19 points to 12. Earlier this week, Samoan player Laloi Leilua had to leave Dubai to be with his family as his 4-week-old baby girl has contracted measles. The Blitzboks Sevens registered a narrow 17-12 win over Kenya in their match. The Kenyans led 12-5 at half-time before South Africa regrouped in the second half and put up a valiant performance, adding 12 points to seal the win. Savewanga has more.
It wasn't a start the Blitzboks may have hoped for, as a confident Kenyan side almost toppled them.
And go and away careers. Otieno! Oh wow!
Captain Siviwe Soyizwapi says Kenya caught them by surprise.
Yeah, I think the boys really came out over-eager a little bit. I think we didn't get the flow that we wanted, but I think we'll be happy with the win.
Soyizwapi says the Blitzboks are fully motivated after the Springboks won the 2019 Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, I think with the Springboks coming with the win from Japan, it was a massive motivation and inspiration for us, especially now that we're going to start the season. So the nation's happy, we're proud of the boys, and yeah, just looking forward for the season coming ahead for us.
Meanwhile, England thrashed Spain 36-7 in their Pool D match. Playmaker Dan Beebe, who is playing his 50th tournament, says it's a special moment for him.
Yeah, it's always cool to get a bit of meat on you on any game, to be fair, but especially in the 50th, yeah, it's pretty special.
England and South Africa are both in Pool D. England will meet Kenya at 10:26 p.m. while South Africa takes on Spain at 10:48 tonight. You can catch the live coverage of the Dubai Sevens on our channel FBC TV. Savewanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Rugby Union conducted core skills, strength and conditioning training for players under 14 to 17 at the Bidesi grounds in Suva today. The training is part of the annual Holiday Skills Camp program, where potential players chosen from the Dean's competition are exposed to professional training environment.
The Elite Pathway program allows these young players to stay in shape in this festive season.
Saturdays during the 2 weeks holidays, post-Deans, and it's just the continuity of keeping tabs and keeping players engaged during the off-season and the Christmas.
13-year-old Veuto Primary School student Ilimo Matendingo says he has learned a lot from the program.
I have learned a lot of new things from the program. I was not aware of some of the rules of playing rugby. One that I've benefited from is learning about passing drills and running lines.
The young lad is positive the Elite Pathway program will take him far in the realm of rugby.
The program has improved my knowledge and skills in rugby, and I know it will take me further, and hopefully one day I'll represent Fiji in any rugby platform.
The program has for many years been successful in creating a pathway for many of these young players to make it in the national sevens side, the Fiji Warriors, Fiji Drua, and even the Flying Fijians. For these youngsters, the Elite Pathway program is a step closer to fulfilling their dreams. Telemeter Kula, FBC Sports.
Coaches from different sporting clubs and associations in Lambasa and Savu-Savu have completed a 3-day community strength and conditioning coaching clinic. Eleanor Turangaivi reports it's an initiative by the Fiji Association of Sports and National Olympic Committee and the Oceania Sports Education Program.
The 3-day strength and conditioning coaching clinic aims to build the capacity of all sports coaches in order to achieve sporting excellence.
The coaches at national level will one day leave, and we need replacement. So we're trying to create a base, a big pool of coaches, so that it's easier for them to come up and replace those that have been coaching for a long time.
The course is brought to Vano level for the first time to give a chance to clubs and associations to bring their performance up to par.
It's about time that they decentralize some of this training, as most of the rural coaches, especially strength and conditioning coaches, lacking the skills to properly train players.
The strength and conditioning course is one of 2 in the area of coaching. The next level is development coaching.
When I go back to my club, I can use all these things that I've learned to improve and just better our exercises, our training skill.
The course has also opened up opportunities for sports development for children in special schools around the country.
A takeaway from me is learning, developing children, their movement skills, and just made us think of we really have to strengthen our PE programs in schools.
Following the completion of the course, OSAP will be monitoring the progress of the coaches to ensure they actively implement what they have learned before they can take up the next level. Eleanor Turangeview, FBC News.
The Fiji Table Tennis Association's major challenge for now is not having a proper coach. President Narendra Lal says they've been without a coach since the Pacific Games. Faria Begum with the story.
Players have been training without any coach.
We don't have any coach. They have been trained by our development officer, whose name is Havi.
The Fiji National Sports Commission says the Fiji Table Tennis Association needs to follow proper procedures to hire a coach.
If an international coach is what they think it's going to be, they're going to have to first of all find one. Second of all, it has to be funded through the funding round from government. And thirdly, they have to be able to keep a coach.
Peter Maisy says table tennis has been the first sporting organizations that was allocated funding for a coach since the assistance was announced in 2013. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
And that's it from sports. In the world of the weird and the wonderful, we'll take you to the world's highest post office. Details after the break.
हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार, हम रहता है रेलेवू और रेडियो फिजी में हरदम सुनता है, बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोते सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको।
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है। हम लोग रेडियो फिजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है, बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम, नंबर 1 रेडियो।
कुमार स्वामी नायक है, गोंगो लुगू लटोका, रेडियो फिजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
कुमार नकाफी।
Angie joins us now with the latest from weather.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. All eyes are on the weekend, especially when the festive season is around and when also it's Dubai Sevens. Time to cheer at the top of our lungs again. Now moving to the west, whether you prefer a quiet spot in the shade of a palm tree, sipping cocktails by the pool, or you're up for a bit of adventure, then this is the place to be, totally sunny and very warm. Eastwards from Pekhabarasuva, now we need our sunnies on because the sun is just showing off. And up north, conditions are perfect for walking on your tan. Little showers might disturb though. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate seas. For the tides, low tide tonight at 9:41 with high tide at 3:39 a.m. Sunrise at 6:21. For tomorrow, we will definitely bask in sunshine yet again. Christmas cleanup sounds about good. Tomorrow's temps, Savu Savu will be cool at 28 degrees. And looking further on to Sunday, overall, it seems like we're in a bright and sunny weekend, so stay safe and enjoy all you can. That's all the weather from the Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, do you think Fiji can win the Dubai Sevens title this weekend?
Fiji will win from New Zealand.
I believe the Fiji Sevens team can win, as a good team has been selected.
Fiji must win the Dubai 7. This Dubai 7, Fiji will win it.
Yes, Fiji's gonna win the Dubai Sevens because we trust our boys, and most of all, the Fiji Sevens boys. Most of all, they can do this because we trust them.
Yes, I believe Fiji will win this Dubai Sevens, and because Fiji has the best rugby sevens players.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, legal and social issues around affordable housing, Fiji amongst worst climate change affected countries, and 2 new measles cases. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question we're asking, should Fijians have visa-free access to more countries? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day, what do you think of this news perspective on government buildings and Albert Park, taken by our very own Koroi Tandalala? And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news, or hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot. Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's #1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है। हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची FM सुनता। गोल्ड टाउन तावा में मिर्ची FM दागो मामा।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.